All right, so have a seat on the floor, or if you don't want to get down on the floor, you can sit in your chair. We're going to do today's theme. We're going to do axial extension, so elongating the spine. But we're going to start with small joints because that feels good, right? Let me move that chair so you can see. Look at the back of my chair. There it goes.
Yeah.
All right, falling gracefully on the floor here. All right, so let's start with breathing. Just checking in with the body. Notice where we're tight, where we've done too much or not enough, as the case may be. And let's just take a couple of breaths here. So in yoga, we like to spend a little bit of time on an inward focus, finding our center. So we're just going to take a few breaths and notice how the breath feels. So were you rushing to get here, or were you early and had some time to relax? And then you don't have to open your eyes if they're closed, but we're going to do a special breath that we usually don't do very often in class, but it is good for the lymph system, so draining the fluid. This gets the kind of in motion. So what we're going to do is it's a soft inhale and a hard exhale, both through the nose. So lips together, teeth apart for the mouth. And we're just going to do a regular inhale and then a forceful exhale. Regular inhale, hard exhale. And then if you want, you can speed it up a little bit. Inhale. Kind of sounds like you're starting like the train. So you can do 5 of those. And that is skull shining breath is what it translates to, but it's Kapalbhati. So that's kind of how we work. It's one that I like in the morning because it's cleaning out your sinuses a little bit and getting the energy to build up a little bit. So let's do 2 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. All right. Do a couple of regular breaths. And anytime we learn a new breath, that can be get your mind going, agitating, wake you up. So trying that right before bed is probably not the best time, but right after you get up out of bed is great. All right, so let's start moving these small joints here. Arms out in front, tuck the thumb, wrap the fingers, and we'll make circles around with the wrist. Excellent. Change direction. Bigger circles into the elbows and shoulders. A little snap, crackle, pop going here. Excellent. Release that, and then we're going to bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, and figure 8s. And then we're going to pause for a moment and switch which fingers on top. Getting into habits, what we call samskaras. I like to think of it is we're in that record groove and we just stick there, and occasionally we gotta hop out and go to the next track. All right, let's go to the feet and ankles. So if your legs are crossed, you can bring them out in front. And we're gonna start with extending. So knees are soft or bent maybe a little bit. We're gonna push the heels out from the torso. Maybe a little calf stretch there. And then we're gonna point the toes and flex. So back and forth. This is our inhale breath, pointing, exhale, flex. And we want to keep the heels on the floor. Unless you're in a chair, then that doesn't apply. But if we're lifting the hips up, we're hyperextending the knees. Did I say heels? All right, and then circles around. You can do 1 foot at a time or both at the same time. Excellent. And then I'm gonna open the toes away from each other and then relax them and open and relax. And then the last 2 directions here. So soles of the feet come in towards the center and then pinky toe towards the shoulder. So we're moving it supinate and pronate. Excellent. And then finish off with your windshield wipers. Maybe noticing that that's going all the way up into that hip joint. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna move the spine and then we're gonna extend it. All right, so I'm gonna just sit back up on here. So let's start with those 6 directions. If you want to sit up on something, you can do that on a blanket or your block if you have a block handy, or you can sit in your chair and do this too. All right, so 6 directions, forward and back. So our cat and cow, we're gonna exhale cat, inhale cow. So rounding up, looking out, and just, you can start with small movements, and as the body warms up, you can make those movements larger, or you can stick with the smaller movements. Excellent. All right, so now we're going to come back to neutral. And we're going to do our next 2 directions are lateral. So if you're in your chair, you can bring your hand to the side of the chair. Otherwise, we're going to bring one hand onto the floor. We're going to inhale this arm up. Exhale, bring it back. And again, we're starting with small movements. And as the body warms up, you can make the movements larger. So we're using the hand that's on the floor or on the chair to push in to keep this opposite knee from popping up. All right, one more time each side, or finish off evenly. Excellent. All right, our last 2 directions are our twist. So we're going to start with that extension first. So inhale, lift up, and then on the exhale into the twist. Try and keep that twist in that upper half, upper third of the back. Inhale, center, exhale, second side. So from top down, the neck vertebrae are more flexible than the lower ones closer to your tailbone. So we want to recognize that and honor that. We don't want to be torquing on those bones that don't move as much. The lower down you go, they're more weight bearing, less moving. All right, and then one more time each side, or finish off evenly. And then we're going to come back to center, and we want to come back to symmetrical. So we're going to bring the legs out if they're not already. And you can kind of wake them up a little bit if they're getting a little stiff there. And we're going to do a couple of forward folds here. So one of the things I like to do is I actually walk the hips back, and that's going to give me more length in the back body. I don't know how that works technically, but it does. All right, so let's use gravity, our big friend. All right, inhale the arms up, exhale, hinge at those hip joints, forward fold. We're not going to stay here long. Tap the floor, inhale, come back up. Beautiful, exhale, fold forward. Tap down, inhale, come back up. And one more time, exhale. Tap down, inhale, bring it up, and exhale. Done. Beautiful. All right. Hands and knees. So coming up however you like. And we're just going to do all this stuff kind of again. So if you are in a chair, you can do the same style what we just did. All right. So we're going to start with that cat and cow. And if you can, notice what the difference feels like when gravity is below us versus perpendicular too. So perpendicular versus parallel. So right now we're parallel with the spine. So exhale, we're going to start with our cat. Tuck the chin, round the spine. Inhale. Keeping that belly engaged so we're not just dumping it towards the floor. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Beautiful. All right, we'll come back to a neutral spine, and then we're going to come into our lateral. Let's do it statically this time. All right, so we're just going to breathe. We're going to move into it and then breathe. So take the right hand, cross over the left hand, turn and look at that left foot. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. So we're breathing from that shoulder to the hip. Inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. One more time. Breathe into that rib cage and exhale. We're going to uncross and then cross the other side. Left hand over the right. Turn and look at that right foot. 3 breaths on this side. Inhale, shoulder to hip. Exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. And one more time, breathe into that rib cage. And exhale. Beautiful. Uncross. All right, so next, we have not done this in a very long time. You can do this seated and just come under like this. All right, so we're going to do thread the needle. All right, left hand stays where it is. We're going to inhale the right arm up. And then exhale, right arm under the left. Come down to the head and shoulder. Inhale, push in with the left hand. Bring the right arm all the way up. Exhale, do it again. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, bring that arm up. And then set it back down on the floor or underneath. All right. Second side, inhale, left arm all the way up. Exhale, left arm under the right, down to the head and the shoulder. Inhale, push in with that right arm all the way up. Exhale again. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, push in with that right hand. Left arm comes up. Exhale, thread the needle. And inhale to come out. Exhale, hands to the floor. Beautiful. Awesome. All right, let's do, we're going to do cat, cow, child's pose. And then we're going to do an extension. All right. So we're going to inhale cow. Exhale cat to child's pose. And then we're going to inhale. You can come up through the forearms. All the way up. Exhale down. Inhale, come back up. And exhale down. One more time, inhale up. And then exhale, we're going to come down to child's pose and pause here for a couple breaths. You can bring the big toes together, knees are wide. A spot for the belly to rest. And then head can come down to the floor, or you can stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. So we have the spine rounded but supported. Excellent. All right, so we're going to come back up to hands and knees. And our big work is going to be our spinal extension. All right, so we're going to start with spinal balance. I'm going to bring that left leg back and right arm forward and feel the extension back through the heel, forward with the fingers. Just take a breath or so here. And then release. We'll do the other side. Extend that right leg back, left arm forward. Really feel that extension back through the heel, forward with the fingers. And then release. All right. One more for a little bit of a quad lengthener. All right, so we're going to do, I forgot what this is called, tiger tail. Okay, so we're going to extend that right leg back, bend at the knee, foot comes up towards the ceiling. We're going to take the left arm and bring it around and maybe grab that right foot. Or maybe not, just extend back and lift up with the leg. They don't have to touch. Excellent, and then release. And let's do the other side. Extend that right leg up, bend at the knee, bend at the ankle. Right arm comes out and around. Oh, have I not done this in a while? I can feel it in my ribs. And if you can reach your foot, push your foot into your hand. That's going to give that stretch in the quad. Breathe. And then release. All right. From here, we're going to come out of hands and knees. We're going to come up to down dog. If down dog is not in your practice, you can come up to standing, however that works best for you. All right, down dog, curl the toes. Inhale, lift the hips. Feet can be wide at the bottom of your mat. We're going to walk the dog, bend the knees. And then straighten the legs, back and forth a couple times. And then when you're ready to come out, you can look up at the hands and walk the feet forward, or look back at the feet and walk the hands back. Ooh. My yoga mat is new, so it's still a little slippery. All right, you guys are up, up. So let's do a couple of forward folds here. All right. So feet are hip width distance apart or so. And we're going to hinge at this hip joint right here. So we don't want to bend in the back. And you can always have a little soft bend in the knees. So we're going to inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Knees are nice and soft. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees nice and deep. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Arms come out. Inhale, all the way up. Palms together. Hands to heart. So one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, arms come out. Inhale, all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. All right. We're going to do our mountain pose. So you can still do a mountain pose in your chair. You're just working from the hips up. For this one, we're going to bring our hands to our lower rib cage. So find the last rib and bring your hands right about there. Feet are hip width distance or wider is fine. And let's just take a couple breaths into the hands. So don't worry about where else it's going, but just see when you inhale, do the ribs come out? And when you exhale, do they go in? So we're going to use our nose breathing, lips together, teeth apart. Inhale into the nose, exhale out the nose. Excellent. All right, drop the arms. So that's our diaphragm moving. So when we inhale, it comes down and spreads out. And then when we exhale, it comes up. So I kind of I kind of think of it as like a jellyfish. So when it spreads out, that's our inhale. And when it comes up, that's our exhale. So just having that idea of that motion kind of helps it how it's supposed to. All right, so mountain pose. Let's just do two things here. We're going to check in with the feet. Big toe, pinky toe, outside edges of the heel. Noticing all 4 points on each foot. And then the crown of the head towards the sky. Hands can be wherever you like, forward or towards each other. And if you have your balance and you want, you can close your eyes. Otherwise, find a spot on the floor where nothing's moving. And then the next time you inhale, feel the feet grounding down and the head extending up. And then exhale, release. When I just did that, I could feel a release in my neck, into my shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. That one was the back of my knees. So sometimes your body will just find a spot when you say relax, it will actually relax. Do one more breath. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, relax. Beautiful. All right. So let's do a little bit more moving here. We're going to do palm tree pose. We're going to keep our feet on the floor and just do the arms. Working on that extension again. So feet comfortably apart, noticing heels and toes. We're going to inhale the arms up. And if you can, looking straight ahead, exhale down, or if it's more comfortable, somewhere on the floor. We don't want to be looking up. Inhale, arms up, but feel the head lifting up. And then inhale, On this next exhale, feel that jellyfish motion where the diaphragm is coming up. Inhale and exhale. So that's a lot of balls to juggle. If you drop one, that's okay. Pick up a different one maybe. Check back in with the feet. Or feel the length in the head growing up towards the ceiling. Or maybe when you exhale and you say relax, you feel a muscle or something in the body actually relax. Well, let's do 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. All right. Let's find our warrior 1. All right. So we're going to turn one foot out, step the other foot forward. And again, check in with those spots on the foot. Check in with that back foot. What's it doing? We want everything to be active here. And we're just going to move this knee to start. So inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. Excellent. All right, and bend the knee, push off, step back. We'll go to the other side. Turn the other foot out, step that second foot forward. And again, check in with that foot. Check in with the back foot. And then let's bend some knee. All right, inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. Excellent. And then bend that leg, push off, and step back. Let's add the arms. All right, so back to the first side, and all right, we're just gonna we'll do regular for a while until it feels like we're done here. All right, so we're gonna inhale, both arms up, bend that front knee, exhale back. So if you have any shoulder issues, and you don't want to bring your arms all the way up, you can do cactus arms or hands to the heart. That works. And you can also do it out a little bit wider. That might feel better if you've got some ancient soreness in the shoulders from something. If that back leg gets a little sore, the calf is tight, you can bend that back knee as well. Excellent. All right, one more. Beautiful. And then we'll push off, step back, shake that leg out a little bit. One or both, however that works. All right, and let's do the other side. All right, check in with those front toes. That back calf, see how it feels. And then let's do the arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. And again, if the arms get tired, cactus arm. Beautiful. And last one. Nice. All right. Bend that front knee. Push off, step back. Shake the legs out if that feels good. Shake the arms out too. All right, let's do a fabulous tree pose. So you can do this in a chair as well. Bring one foot up wherever it feels like, just even like that. And then the arms can go wherever you want. If you're sitting in the chair, you can also do it to the chair, standing behind it or the wall. All right, so pick a foot. That foot is going to stay rooted into the floor. And then the other foot, your choice, heel above the ankle. And then hands will be wherever you like. So hands at the heart. And then you can grow your branches, or you can leave your hands at your heart. Arms can come out to the side. You can touch fingertips together. But most important, we're breathing. So even if you are not in what somebody would consider the perfect tree pose, you can tell your brain you're in it, and you're going to get the same physical response in your body as though you really were in that, magazine cover of tree pose. All right, coming out nice and gracefully. And then let's go to the other side. And then start with your heel above the ankle, hands at the heart. And then grow your branches. Finding a spot where nobody's moving or somewhere on the floor. You can bring your foot up higher if you want, or keep it down on the floor. There's no competition here, even with yourself. Last week it was different. Next week it'll be different. Keep the breath going. And then coming out nice and gracefully. All right, shake those legs out. And then let's do our warrior two. All right, so for warrior one, I like to kind of focus on that front knee, that bending and strengthening that front leg. On warrior two, for me, it's more about the torso, but any pose can have different purpose depending on what you want to get out of it. So it could be more of a balance pose for you. It could be more upper body strength. For me, warrior two is that twist and lengthening. All right, so let's bring one foot forward. The other foot is at 90 degrees-ish. We're going to bend that front knee over that front ankle. Hands at the heart, arms open to the side. And then extend out through the fingers. So this could be your pose just right here. And maybe it's your shoulders that you're thinking about and concentrating on. Maybe it is hip points together, so that's strength in that lower belly. Maybe it's that strength in this front thigh. Maybe it's some strength in the back calf. Where do you want your pose to be today? And then we're going to do our moving. So we're changing the dynamics of the pose. So we're going to go forward with our side angle pose. So we're shifting our balance and we're shifting our torso. So we have a lateral and a twist. And then on your next inhale, we're going to windmill around to peaceful warrior. So now maybe it's more about balance and length from that front arm down to that front foot. And then let's do it again, side angle pose. Shifting the weight, shifting the arms. And then inhale, peaceful warrior. And one more time through peaceful, side angle pose. And inhale back to peaceful warrior. All right, bring back to warrior two. Check in with the body. Notice what feels different or the same. And then we'll drop the arms and step the feet together. You shake the legs out, and then we'll go to the other side. All right, hands at the heart, arms open to the side, bend that front knee over that front ankle. Extend forward with the finger, or extend out fingers. And maybe, I didn't say this on the first side, extend up with the head. Nice. All right, forward first, side angle pose. That upper arm can be wherever comfortable on that hip, up towards the ceiling, overhead. Inhale, bring it around. Peaceful warrior. Feel that shift in the weight. Exhale back to side angle pose. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And one more time through side angle pose. Noticing what the toes are doing. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Maybe check in with the heels. Beautiful. Back to warrior two. We'll drop the arms and step the feet back together. All right, shake it out. All right. So let's take a mountain pose break here, and then we're going to do our moving balance. All right, so if you want, bring your toes together, heels apart, and just notice how that feels. And if it feels too close together and a little too wobbly, step the feet maybe 2 fists apart. But theoretically is hip width distance apart. And just notice the difference. So do you feel more stable, less stable? All right, and then we'll come back into that mountain pose and we'll pick 2 different parts of the body to focus on. So we're gonna go to those hip points. So right here in front, and then drawing those 2 together like you're tying your shoes, so pulling them towards each other. And then we're gonna go up to the hyoid bone. So in front of the throat, little horseshoe-shaped bone, that the 2 points face the back of the neck. So imagine that they're being pulled back and then up. So that gives us from our slump to our nice, beautiful posture. And we're just gonna look at those 2 points right now. Breathing, of course. But those 2 points are basically our torso posture. And 1 or 2 more breaths here. Excellent. So I didn't print it off, but I have an article that was 10 things that your posture affects negatively, positively. So breath, if your posture is rounded, you're going to get less breath. It affects your hormones. It affects, I don't remember all they were. I didn't print it off, but I will for next time. So we'll do some more posture alignment for that. All right, so what we're going to do, let's do our Karate Kid next. So we'll just do it regular today. So that looks like this. We're going to inhale, the arms come up and one knee comes up. And then exhale, hands down. Inhale, other side. Going nice and slow. It's harder if you go slower. If you want to make more of a challenge, keep that knee up and take an extra breath. So what we're doing is building muscle memory for those times when you get a little off balance. Your muscle goes, hey, I got this. We'll bring you back upright. So this is something that I would recommend practicing at home with and without shoes on. Most of the time, it does happen, but most of the time we don't fall just standing. It's usually because we're moving and we lose sight of what we're doing or we trip over something. Somebody was telling me, I forgot what men trip over. Women trip over dogs. Men, I forgot what men trip over. Oh, well, I'll have to look that up and tell you next week. All right, so let's do one more time each side. Excellent. And then let's do our palm tree pose. And so we're going to add the feet this time. If that's not going to work for whatever reason, you can do up on the toes with the chair or at the wall. Do one arm and then the toes. That's an option. Or just the arms if the feet aren't behaving today. Or just the feet if the arms aren't behaving. So you have options. There's always options. So I'm going to go arms and feet. And you can do any of those combinations that you like. All right, so here we go. So we're going to inhale, coming up on the toes, arms come up, exhale down. So you can go forward with the arms or out and up. It's a little longer out and up. Or switch back and forth. So again, feet can be a little bit wider if that doesn't feel like you've got it. Move the feet a little bit. So this is really good for strengthening those feet and ankles. If you wear shoes a lot, they tend to take the sensation away from you, so you don't really know what you're on. I kind of like that out to the side. That feels good on the shoulders after all those other directions that we've done. All right, one or two more. Excellent. And then if you have a chair handy and you want, you could probably do this without the chair, but we're just going to pick up one foot and make circles with that ankle. And then the other side. You could probably do it without if you want. A bit more balanced practice. And then you can shake. All right, I just thought of what we were going to do next, and then I forgot. I know what we're going to do. We're going to do triangle. So if you haven't done triangle in a while, or you're super tight because you had too much fun over the holiday break, and your legs are a little sore, you can do it with a chair. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you're going to step one foot up by the chair, hand on the, hand on the chair like that, and then the other arm is up like this. That's an option instead of trying to go all the way down to the floor. So that's what that one looks like. All right, I'm going to move the chair out of the way and go a little further. Also, if you have a block, because you can get down to about here, you can use your block. All right, so we're going to step one foot forward. The other foot is at an angle-ish. Hands to the heart, arms open to the side. And we're going to extend forward with that front arm. And then we're going to hinge the hips and then tick-tock the arms. So wherever your hand gets to, the chair, your shin, your ankle, the floor, your block, wherever that wants to be, take a moment and see if you can send that upper shoulder back a little bit. So we have a twist and a lateral here, but we also want to extend from the crown of the head. All right, take one more full breath. And then we're going to grab that invisible rope, pull up with that upper arm. And then we'll drop the arms, bend that front knee, and step the feet back together. Excellent. All right, so let's do the other side. Other foot is in front. Hands at the heart, arms open to the side. Check in with the toes. And then we're going to extend forward with that front arm. Hinge at that hip. Hand can come down wherever it reaches, that chair, your shin, your ankle, the floor, your block. Don't forget to breathe. And we're going to extend the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Nice long spine. That upper shoulder goes towards the back of the wall, back of the room. One more breath. And then grab that invisible rope and back up. Drop the arms, bend that front knee, and step the feet back together. And we'll show the legs out. Excellent. All right. So let's do one more mountain pose. And we're going to do 3 points on the body. All right. First of all, our foundation, our feet. If you want, you can pick up the toes and then set them back down. Maybe I can't do each one separately, but I can kind of separate them. So big toe, and then see if you can do each toe at a time. I can do 3. The two before the pinky toe kind of like stick together. They're like twins. We're here. All right, so feet. Check in with the heels. Those are our feet, our foundation. We're grounded. Second is back to that lower rib cage, our diaphragm. Feel that the breath moving, that jellyfish motion. Inhale, it flattens down and out. Exhale, puffs up. That's how they move in the water, by making that motion. And then last one is crown of the head, soaring towards the sky. You can drop your hands facing each other or forward, or leave them on your ribs. But feel that elongation in the spine, nice and tall, but preserving the curves. We don't want to flatten that lower back. But feeling that extension. And of course, I know everybody is breathing. All right, one more breath. And then we're going to come down to the floor. So if you want to come into a squat, you are welcome to do that. If that is not in your practice, then just come and sit on the floor. So if you haven't done a lot of squats and you have decided that's your new pose that you're going to work on this year, one of the tools that we have, I was going to say tricks of the trade, but is bringing your heels up on a blanket and then coming down just as far as you can go. And then you practice it every day. You get lower and lower and lower. And then you fall down, right? No falling down. All right. So that's a good way to get those ankles and feet more flexible by using a blanket or a towel rolled up. And then maybe depending on mechanics and all kinds of stuff that goes on in the body. You may be able to get flat feet with that, but maybe not, and that's okay. Because we all started where we started, and we'll be where we are. All right, so let's do a twist. We haven't done a lot of twists, so we're going to do an open and closed twist. So by open, we're opening away from the center line. By closing, we're coming in towards the center line. So we'll do both on each side. So we'll start with bending the right knee, right foot comes into the mat. Left leg is extended and active. So toes point up towards the ceiling, engaging that whole leg. All right, so we're going to take this left arm and inhale up. And then on the exhale, you can come on the outside of that right leg or around in front. That left hand is behind, or sorry, right hand is behind the spine, pushing into and extending up. All right, now we're going to exhale and look towards that right shoulder. So this is our closed twist. Beautiful. And then exhale, relax, come back to the center. And we're going to take that left arm again, extend it out in front. And then we're going to inhale and open. So this is our open twist. So I'm pushing my right knee into my right hand for not falling over. And then we'll bring it back and release. And then we're going to switch legs. Extend that right leg, active, toes point up towards the ceiling. And extend that right arm over that right leg. Inhale, lift, feel that extension. Exhale on the outside or around in front. Left hand comes behind the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turning and looking towards that back wall. Close twist. On your next exhale, pull the belly button in towards the spine. That also helps that jellyfish motion in the diaphragm. And then relax, come back to center. Right arm over that right leg. Inhale, open twist. Left hand pushing into that left leg for stability. And then bring it back to center. Then we're going to bring both feet into the mat. Wrap the arms around the knees, drop the chin, and rock side to side. And then from here, we're going to come onto our back. And I always forget about the microphone. A little off of that. All right. So the first thing we want to do is that pelvis tuck and tilt. So knees are bent, feet in the mat. We're going to push in with the feet, and that pelvis is going to tilt. So we're flattening the back here, and then relax. And you can overarch, so you like slide your hand under that lower back. So you don't have to exaggerate too much, just tilting back and forth. Kind of like a seesaw almost. All right. Next, we're going to do that tree pose on our back. So extend one leg straight so that whole leg's touching the floor, toes point up towards the ceiling, as though the foot was on the floor. So the sole of the foot on the floor. So you're picturing this. Then we're going to take the other foot is on the mat, the knee is bent, and we're just going to gently drop the knee over towards the side. So our legs are in that tree form now. So depending on how tight that hip is, the foot is closer to the other one. The more open it is, the higher up that leg it can be. So standing on the ground, your leg may not be bent like this, and that's okay. But we can picture that we are standing against gravity instead of being at one with gravity. Okay. All right, so then the arms can be out to the side. They can be up overhead. You can have one on your heart and one on the belly. So wherever you are called to have your hands, that's where they can be. Even you could even do cactus arms. But let's just take a couple of breaths and feel how connected we are to the earth, how grounded we are. And one more ball to throw at you here. Extension. So feel the extension of that heel of that straight leg and feel the extension of the crown of the head away from there. So if it helps to bring the arms up overhead to feel that extension or out to the side, take one more breath here. And then we're going to bring that bent knee up and then bend the other knee. So both knees are bent, both feet into the mat, and we're going to reverse. So extend that opposite leg, and then we're going to drop that second knee over towards the side. So our legs are the reverse of how they were on the first side. And if one of these hips are tight and you have your blanket or towel handy, you can put that, or even a block, under that knee, and that's going to relax that hip on the other side if that one's tight. And again, we're going to pick where the arms go. Out to the side, up above. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And we're just breathing. Feeling that extension, feeling grounded. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring that knee up, bring the other knee next to it, and we're going to bring both knees in towards the chest. So let's do a couple of apanasanas to come back to a symmetrical spine. So you can either have your hands on your knees and your knees come in, or hands slide up and down the thighs. And after you finish that, feet come down to the mat and then extend the legs out all the way. Extend the heels away from the torso. And we're going to finish with our palm tree pose. So we started with this. We're going to finish with this. Inhale, arms come up overhead to the floor above you. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. And one or two more. We're going to release the legs and the feet away from each other. Arms out away from the torso, palms up or palms down. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades closer together. And getting any last little wiggles out. I'm going to take a nice deep inhale and exhale out the mouth. Again, inhale, exhale. One last time, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. So we're going to, I'm going to sit up so you can hear me better. We're going to do a full body relaxation And this time we're going to do the joints. So we're going to relax and make space in the joints. So that spinal extension that we've been talking about and working on, we're going to do that in all the joints as well. So that extension is expansion. So we'll start at the feet and work our way up. So we're going to relax and make space in all the toe joints. Relax and make space in all the joints in the feet. Relax and make space in the ankles. Relax and make space in the knees. Relax and make space in the hip joints. Relax and make space in the spine from the tailbone all the way up into the base of the skull. Relax and make space in between the ribs, letting go of the breath. Relax and make space in those shoulder joints. Relax and make space in the elbows. Relax and make space in the wrists. Relax and make space in the hands and fingers. Relax and make space in the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way, we're going to do a sun breath. We had 2 days of sun in a row, so I don't know what's going to happen today, but we're going to breathe some sun in. All right, so arms out in front. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. 3 times. Ready? Here we go. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, close. One more glorious time. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Hands come together, back to the heart, and namaste. Thanks, guys.
The new scholar.
Yep.
3 or 4 weeks, you do 6'5".